A robot just worked through the night. No breaks, no supervision, no human in the building. It loaded a dishwasher, ran it, unloaded it, and started the whole cycle again for 4 straight minutes of full autonomy. That doesn't sound like much until you realize no humanoid robot had ever done that before. And that's just one thing that happened this month. Most people still picture humanoid robots as either clumsy lab experiments or sci-fi props. Impressive in a video, useless in the real world. That picture is now out of date. In the last 30 days, humanoid robots crossed thresholds that engineers have been working toward for years. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand not just what happened, but why it actually matters, and what the one problem is that still stands between these machines and your daily life. Before we get into the robots, think about this. There are roughly 57 million people over the age of 65 in the US alone. Most of them will eventually need help with daily tasks, getting up, preparing food, taking medication on schedule. The demand for that care already outpaces the number of people available to provide it. Now think about a factory floor. The moment a production line stops, it costs thousands of dollars per minute. Companies don't just want robots that can work, they need robots that never stop working. These aren't futuristic problems, they're today's problems, and they're exactly what the humanoid robot race is quietly being built to solve. Let's start with Figure AI and something called Helix 02. Figure 03, their latest humanoid, is now operating around the clock with zero human supervision. Not just during business hours, through the night, on weekends, at 2 a.m. on a Sunday. Here's how it works. When one robot's battery runs low, it walks itself to a charging dock. At that exact moment, a fully charged unit leaves its own dock and takes over the task, with no gap in the work. The handoff is seamless. The floor never goes quiet. The charging itself is wireless. The robot steps onto a floor pad and power transfers through its feet automatically. No cables, no manual intervention, full charge in about an hour. But here's what makes this more than an engineering achievement. Figure trained the brain behind this system, Helix, on over 1,000 hours of actual human movement. The robot didn't learn from simulations. It learned by watching people. How we balance when we're carrying something, how we reach without thinking, how we adjust when something slips. That's a different kind of machine than we've had before. Now, here's where it gets uncomfortable, and I want you to sit with this for a second. A Chinese company called DroidUp just unveiled a humanoid robot with synthetic silicone skin that feels warm to the touch. It has 25 degrees of facial freedom, meaning it can produce the micro-expressions humans use instinctively. The tiny eyebrow raise before you speak, the slight narrowing of the eyes when you're unsure, the movements you don't even notice you're reading in another person's face. When you shake its hand, your brain registers warmth, and something happens. You don't immediately pull back. This robot isn't being built for warehouses. It's being built for elder care, for companionship, for the 57 million people we just talked about. Whether that feels like a solution or a step too far, hold that thought, because it connects to something deeper that we'll come back to. Here's the part most coverage gets wrong. Everyone talks about whether robots can walk. Can they balance? Can they flip and spin and do kung fu on live TV in front of 1 billion viewers? Yes, Unitree's G1 robots did exactly that at China's Spring Festival Gala in February. But walking was never the hardest problem. The hardest problem is the hand. The human hand has 27 degrees of freedom. That's 27 independent ways your fingers and thumb can move. The exact combination that lets you button a shirt, crack an egg without breaking the yolk, or fold a piece of paper in half. Most robots skip this entirely and use simple grippers. Pick up, put down. That's it. Figure AI has been quietly working on their robotic hand for 3 years. In that same time, they've built 3 different robot bodies, but they're already on their 7th hand design. 7 versions, 3 bodies. That ratio tells you everything about where the real difficulty lives. Their latest generation targets more than 20 degrees of freedom, touch sensors that can detect a force lighter than a small sugar packet, and the ability to handle a fragile egg without cracking it. Other companies, Sanctuary AI, Boston Dynamics, Unitree, are all racing toward the same milestone. Because once you solve the hand, you unlock the kitchen, the hospital, the home, not just the warehouse floor.
And this is where we come back to that uncomfortable thought about the warm-skinned robot. Here's what nobody is saying directly. The humanoid robot race isn't really about which company has the fastest legs or the most impressive backflip. It's about which robot can exist alongside a human being in a human space, doing a human task, without needing the world rebuilt around it. That's why the hand matters. That's why the face matters. That's why working through the night in a real facility with real variables matters. Demis Hassabis, the Nobel Prize winner who cracked protein folding with AlphaFold, recently said the equivalent breakthrough for physical robotics is 18 to 24 months away. One root node problem solved, and suddenly robots that can reliably function in the messy, unpredictable real world become possible. Not the lab, not a controlled demo. Your office, your parents' home, your kitchen. The timeline just became very real.
So when you see a robot doing kung fu on live TV, or feel strange about a machine with warm skin and a human smile, those aren't separate stories. They're different edges of the same thing. A machine learning to exist in a world built for us. If this changed how you're thinking about the robot space, that's the whole point of this channel. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because the next 18 months are going to move fast. One last thing. Every robot we talked about today can walk, balance, and use its hands. None of them can yet do what a 5-year-old does without thinking. Walk into a room they've never seen before and figure out what to do next. That gap has a name, and closing it might be the most important problem in technology right now. We'll get into that next.